Welcome to SpillHood, your go-to channel for the rawest celebrity drama and shocking revelations. Let's get straight into it because this story is getting darker by the minute. So David claimed he was done with the whole situation until his name started circling back again when a suspect got revealed. But apparently David just can't stay out of trouble.
Just yesterday, thousands of people got a BandLab notification that David released a new song titled Rush, but minutes later, it vanished.
Oh, look at answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer. It's controversial of kids. Bye, guys.
I can tell you that we did find opiate prescription.
Out of nowhere, he drops a brand new track on BandLab, and before anyone could even hit replay, it vanished, gone private, deleted like it never existed. At first, people brushed it off as a throwaway demo, but then fans noticed something off. Not in Rush, but in another track called I Never Needed You. There's this faint female voice in the background, and fans swear it sounds exactly like Celeste. Not a remix, not a sample, her real voice. Or at least that's what people believe after comparing it to her old viral clips before she went missing. That's straight up chilling. We're talking about a person whose disappearance still raises unanswered questions. And now her voice is creeping through his new music. That's not artistic expression. That's disturbing. And when fans began connecting the dots, the story only got darker. Investigators reportedly found a Build-A-Bear certificate with her cousin's name inside David's old house. Then there's the rumor about an opioid overdose cover-up that could explain how she ended up in that Tesla. And if that wasn't eerie enough, officials mentioned finding farm tools hidden in that same Hollywood Hills home. Tools that had no business being there. Something seriously off here. This isn't just about a deleted track anymore. It's way deeper than that. We're talking about the voice, the clues, the house, and a timeline that's way too suspicious to ignore.
Thousands of people got a BandLab notification that David released a new song titled Rush, but minutes later, it vanished. The song was apparently created on October 2nd, and some people think it was released on accident, and others think it was on purpose.
Something's definitely not adding up here. And since we're on the topic of music, let's talk about Rush, the same song that mysteriously vanished right after fans started connecting the dots. Once people looked deeper into the lyrics, it stopped feeling like another emotional track and started sounding like something darker, maybe even a confession. He sings, I thought we were taking it slow, but you don't want to wait on me. I just need you to know there's so many things I need now. Man, when fans heard that, jaws dropped instantly. That doesn't sound like a simple love song at all. It sounds like he's talking to someone who wanted more from him, and he's trying to justify why he pulled away. Almost like he's defending himself through lyrics. Then it gets even heavier. He goes, say you love me, then you say goodbye. Had a feeling you would leave my side. I still think about you day and night. That right there sounds like guilt. Plain and simple. You can hear it in the tone, in the delivery, like he's haunted by it. And the part that really gives people chills, he keeps repeating, don't want to waste your time, over and over again. That repetition feels like he's trying to convince himself as much as everyone else. Something about it just screams remorse. It's like he's not even trying to convince the listener. He's trying to convince himself. You can feel it. It's almost like he's rewriting history through his own lyrics, twisting the story to sound softer than it really was. That's not reflection. That's revision. And if he truly didn't want the world digging into it, why upload it to BandLab in the first place? He could have dropped it properly on major platforms if it was just another song. But nah, this felt like a test. Like he wanted to see people's reactions without facing the fallout. Sneaky move, but it backfired hard. And when you start connecting the timeline, things get straight up eerie. The body was found, the investigation is still wide open, and instead of laying low out of respect, he's out here playing with fire. Fans were already unsettled by Rush, but when they dug into I Never Needed You, things spiraled even further. Because deep in the background of that track, there's a faint female voice, and people swear it's Celeste. You can literally hear it. The tone, the cadence, even the tiny breaths between her words. It's too detailed, too personal to just be some random sample. And before anyone tried to dismiss it as a coincidence, fans ran comparisons. And the results? Way too close for comfort.
You don't even go to the house. Hey, bro. You talking. I'm not Mexican. It's all the door and you tripping.
Oh my God.
Not because you tripping.
This is starting to look less like art and more like a hidden message. Someone actually ran a mini voice analysis using clips from Celeste's old live streams and that viral Ring camera footage, the one where she was caught arguing with her neighbor. And when they compared those clips to the song, the match was almost identical. We're talking 1-to-1 level similarity. Same tone, same rhythm, same emotion in her voice. That's not a stretch. That's a match. In that track, you can clearly hear a girl saying, "You are the one calling my phone. Your number is blocked. You keep calling me, texting me." Now, for that kind of audio to somehow end up layered into a polished mixed track, that's not just creepy. That's straight up disrespectful to someone who can't even speak for herself anymore. It's crossing a line that should have never been touched. And what does David do? Absolutely nothing. No statement, no acknowledgement, no explanation. He never said it was a sample, never addressed why that voice appears in the background. Just complete silence. The same kind of silence he's been keeping through this whole Celeste case. It's like he's pretending nothing's wrong while everyone else is hearing what sounds like her voice haunting the track. By now, it almost feels like he's trying to keep her presence alive through his music, but not in a way that honors her memory. It feels manipulative, like he's rewriting the narrative to make it seem like she was the one chasing him. If that's really his intent, that's manipulation on another level. Cold and calculated. And just when fans thought this whole Celeste's voice theory was as deep as it could go, a private investigator stepped in with brand new info. And this part sounds like something ripped straight out of a movie. Get ready, because it only gets wilder from here. The investigator's name is Steve Fisher, and if you've been following this case on SpillHood, you already know who that is. He's been quietly dropping shocking details since day one, piecing together things the public wasn't supposed to see. And now, according to him, what he discovered inside that Hollywood Hills property, the same one David was staying in, could completely change how everyone views this entire situation. Steve shared photos on X that had people's jaws on the floor. One of the images showed a Build-A-Bear certificate found inside the house. The name on it, Esmeralda. The date, April 21st, 2024. At first, that might sound random, but here's where it gets chilling. Celeste had a cousin named Esmeralda, the same one who helped manage her GoFundMe page and was seen in those graduation pictures with her. That's not some random connection, that's family. Now here's the part that makes your skin crawl. April 21st wasn't just any day. It was 2 weeks after Celeste was reported missing from Lake Elsinore. So if that bear was created that same day and its certificate somehow ended up in David's rental home, that raises way too many questions. How did it get there? Why was it there? And what does it mean? Things just went from confusing to downright suspicious. And as Steve hinted, what comes next might blow this entire case wide open. The deeper he digs, the darker this story gets. Steve Fisher didn't stop there. He dropped another bombshell. He pointed out that on April 21st, the exact same day listed on that Build-A-Bear certificate, David posted a TikTok showing himself on a roller coaster at Six Flags. And guess what? Six Flags just so happens to have a Build-A-Bear workshop on site. That's when people started connecting the dots. And the pattern that formed wasn't pretty.
Photo that everyone has been posting lately, it was taken on May the 30th, 2024. Miss Rivas had attended her cousin Esmeralda's high school graduation. In September, she was seen on video fighting with the neighbors at the Lake Elsinore home. So why didn't any family member notify law enforcement that she was safe? Possibly because they were worried it would trigger a CPS investigation.
So now the question everyone's asking is, did David go to Six Flags with Celeste that day while she was already listed as missing? Because if that's true, we're not talking about a secret relationship anymore. We're talking about a timeline cover-up. And once that theory hit social media, chaos broke out. People started turning on everyone, not just David, but even Celeste's own circle. Because at this point, nobody's giving straight answers, and it's starting to feel like everyone's protecting themselves instead of protecting her. Even after all these clues, the Build-A-Bear connection, the graduation photos, the suspicious timing, David still hasn't been officially named a suspect. The police aren't calling it a homicide. Instead, they keep repeating that the autopsy results are deferred. But to most people, that just sounds like code for, we don't know what to say yet. And here's the thing. While everyone's staying quiet, the people who have seen what was found inside that house can't shake it. They've described the scene as dark, unsettling, and impossible to forget. Something about that place feels like it's hiding the truth that nobody wants to face. Not long after, whispers started spreading that what Steve Fisher discovered inside that Hollywood Hills home wasn't just strange, it was deeply disturbing. According to sources close to the investigation, parts of the house looked like someone had been cleaning up in a hurry. Furniture was rearranged, some walls had been recently painted, And even the floorboard showed signs of being replaced. That's not normal for a rental, especially one connected to an open case. What really got people talking, though, was what Fisher claimed he found in a locked utility room. Inside, there were traces of melted wax, old Polaroid photos, and a half-burned journal page with writing that looked rushed, like someone scribbling in panic. On that page, one phrase stood out. She said, "No, but I couldn't let go." That single line sent chills through everyone who saw it. Fans started flooding forums and Reddit threads, wondering if that journal page was connected to David's lyrics or even his missing song, Rush. And if that wasn't creepy enough, Fisher reportedly turned over those items to investigators, who confirmed that some objects had Celeste's fingerprints on them. But here's where it gets twisted. David's prints were there too. 2 sets of prints, one story that still doesn't make sense. The discovery reignited the fire online, and suddenly, the internet turned into one big detective board. People started pulling screenshots, timestamps, old social media posts, trying to piece together where David really was during those missing weeks. Every clue made the mystery feel darker and more personal, and the more people looked, the more it started to seem like this wasn't just a tragic coincidence, it was something planned, something hidden in plain sight. When investigators stepped inside that luxury Hollywood rental, they stumbled on something that made everyone's stomach drop. Farm tools. Yeah, farm tools. Sitting right there in a high-end property miles away from any field or farm. It makes no sense, and honestly, nobody even wants to picture what might have been planned with them. But deep down, everyone's thinking the same thing.
Inside information on this at all, but my gut tells me the way things are lining up right now, I'm feeling this is probably going to be something like an accidental overdose. And they just made a horrible decision after the fact because they didn't want the relationship to be to get out there, because it would definitely hurt his, career, if not him be criminal.
Then came the prescription bottles, opioids, maybe legal, maybe not. The running theory now is that this wasn't some premeditated act, but an accident that spiraled into panic. People believe Celeste might have overdosed, and instead of calling for help, someone freaked out, tried to cover it up, and that's how her body ended up in that Tesla. If that's true, then multiple people knew enough to move a body, hide evidence, and spin a story. Yet not a single one of them has spoken up publicly. Every time the truth feels like it's about to break through, it slips right back into the shadows, just like David's disappearing songs. He posts, deletes, hides, and somehow life keeps moving like nothing ever happened. It's like the world forgot this girl even existed and she's gone. And she deserves peace. But the heartbreaking part is that she lost her life way too soon. And with every day that passes without justice, it feels like her voice fades a little more, unless someone finally steps up and tells the truth. At this point, the case feels like it's running in circles. A suspect with no clear direction, no real answers, and a trail of silence that just keeps growing. Nobody's pointing fingers without proof, but come on. There are too many missing pieces to pretend this makes sense. If it's true that Esmeralda was with Celeste at Six Flags while she was already listed as missing, then she knows way more than anyone's letting on. That changes everything. It's not just about a song or a deleted track anymore. It's about truth, loyalty, and a timeline that keeps falling apart every time someone tries to piece it together. Something about this whole story still feels unfinished, like there's a final page missing. You don't build fame off someone's voice, walk away from tragedy like nothing happened, and expect the internet to just move on. The questions aren't fading, they're getting louder. And that cloud of guilt hovering over this case, it's not disappearing anytime soon. And whatever really happened that night is still out there, sitting in silence, waiting for someone brave enough to finally say it out loud. Because the truth always finds a way to break through, no matter how hard people try to bury it. If you made it this far, hit that like, share, and subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think David's hiding something, or is there more to this story than anyone realizes? See you on the next one.